Hello and welcome to StudyIQ English. In this video, let's talk about why is NATO in the news once again. Yes, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization or NATO is making news, this time because of its annual exercise called Steadfast Noon, an exercise that is happening over the North Sea. Drills being conducted in the North Sea area, and this will continue for about 2 weeks. But this is full of controversies. For once, the Russian president, Mr. Putin, says that perhaps the NATO members are using some nuclear technology here. He says it is a dangerous precedent. It could lead to a confrontation between NATO and Russia in the future. But the NATO members are clarifying that there is no actual use of nuclear weapon. This is just a stimulation. The purpose is only to modernize, upgrade nuclear bases and infrastructure of the NATO. This exercise today is witnessing a participation of about 14 member countries, just half of the total NATO strength. There is no France to be seen. And then the last question is that why are countries across European Union investing so much money into modernizing, upgrading its nuclear bases everywhere? So these are certain questions that are open right now and therefore an important topic for UPSC. So yes, the NATO has started its annual military nuclear deterrent exercise, which is known as the Steadfast Noon. As a military alliance, a political alliance of various member countries from North America and Europe, NATO is all about collective defense. So today, as the exercise begins, it is creating a lot of questions among the people. That exactly what's the nature of this exercise. So if we look at in detail, then let's understand that this exercise here is a part of NATO's annual exercise. As I said, a nuclear deterrent exercise named as Steadfast Noon. Every year, different countries host it. And this year, the hosting is being done by Netherlands. It is an important test, an important milestone that monitors NATO's nuclear deterrent capacities. And because it is being hosted by Netherlands, it is also seeing participation from many other countries, including Belgium, Denmark, Britain. Apart from that, there is Germany, US and Finland, who are also key participants in 2025 edition of the Steadfast Noon exercise. There are about 2,000 troops participating. There are about 71 aircrafts that are seeing participation from 14 member countries of the NATO. So we have various kind of modern fighter jets. We have bombers that are capable of carrying nuclear weapons. All these are being tested here. No wonder it is raising many questions to other countries like Russia. But the NATO members are assuring us. They say that there is no use of any actual nuclear weapon, although the pilots, the fighters here are being trained, they are being certified for future nuclear missions. They are being made war ready for future. Then NATO also says it is just a stimulation that tomorrow, in case of an emergency, NATO wants to see how prepared are its forces to face a nuclear threat. That's the purpose. Now, France is not participating in this exercise. The reason being that France is one country which keeps its nuclear forces completely separate from NATO's command and control structure, as well as policy making, decision making. So therefore, there is no France here, but other, that is 14 countries are into active participation. As I mentioned, 2-week long exercise this is going to be, and various air crews will be trained this time in using US non-strategic nuclear bombs. This exercise is primarily centered in Belgium's base, Airbase, and also let's remember that apart from Belgium Airbase, there are 5 more. So in total, we have about 6 air bases in Europe that are storing United States nuclear bombs. And as I mentioned, the exercise is taking place as a nuclear deterrent. At the same time, Europe is busy right now modernizing, upgrading its nuclear bases across European continent. So that's an activity that's happening. According to NATO members, Steadfast Noon will involve latest equipment For example, the F-16 fourth generation, F-15E, plus you have the fifth generation F-35A, F-22 fighter jets. The most amazing part of the whole exercise is the utilization of dual capable aircraft. So, what are dual capable aircraft? So, dual capable aircraft are those aircrafts that can deliver both conventional as well as nuclear weapons. For example, Germany's Tornado, US and Dutch F-35 fighter jets. So these are certain weapons that are being tested here. A number of tankers, surveillance aircrafts are also participating in this exercise right now. But there is one more issue that's creating a controversy right now, and it is about nuclear non proliferation. Now, let's understand that this exercise is also controversial today because there is a kind of nuclear technology sharing that's taking place. It is United States that is installing nuclear equipment, fighter jets into various NATO member countries. But this is creating a question in the global community that why is America sharing nuclear equipment, nuclear technology into other NATO members' territory? That's the question that we are asking because United States is a member of the nuclear non-proliferation agreement under which it is not supposed to pass on or share nuclear weapons to other countries, especially to other non-nuclear countries, and hence under Steadfast Noon. When US is sharing, installing nuclear equipments, nuclear technologies into other NATO members, it is causing a question because US has conventionally promised it will not share nuclear weapons. So why is this being done right now? According to America, this is not to be utilized in peacetime. There is nothing to worry. The nuclear technology and the weapons that America is sharing with the NATO members, that's purely to be used in case there is a war that happens in the future. Only in that case, weapons will be handed over to the non nuclear countries, only in the case of a war. Otherwise, they will not be given any active usage of weapons. So that's America's claim, but at the same time, the controversy is still going on. Now, let's understand Russia makes a comment that it could be a very threatening scenario. And this is nothing new. If you remember very recently, Russia was also in the news when it was conducting its exercise called Zapad, the Zapad 2025 with Belarus. It was during that time that eastern flank countries of NATO had a problem. In fact, Russian drones, Russian surveillance, unmanned aerial vehicles were also spotted in certain countries of NATO that time, causing a high alert in NATO. When NATO said that if this continues, we will have to invoke the Convention 5 of NATO, that's about collective defense. And today, just a few weeks later, as NATO is having Steadfast Noon, a similar reaction is coming from Russia that any utilization of nuclear weaponry or technology could mean danger in the future. So that's the controversy happening right now. A very important topic indeed for UPSC. So let's have a quick look at the practice question. Consider the following statements regarding NATO's annual nuclear deterrent exercise, Steadfast Noon. 1. The exercise is conducted exclusively in the North Sea and it has no participation from other NATO member countries. 2. Steadfast Noon 25 started on 13th October. It involved 71 aircraft from 14 NATO countries and it will continue until 24th. Third, the exercise focuses on improving the security of nuclear assets and involves the use of live nuclear weapons to stimulate realistic scenarios. So, in case there is a war in the future, these weapons can then be used. So, this exercise is a testing ground for these active weapons. So, which of these statements do you think are valid? You can try to answer the question, post us your comment. If you have any other opinion about NATO, exercise Zapad, or the current exercise Steadfast Noon, should you have any opinion about France's decision of non participation, keeping its nuclear decision policies separate, you can definitely leave a thread here and we can have a discussion on that. And before I take your leave, a quick reminder about how the batch for target year 2026, that's the fast track batch, is beginning very soon now, 25th October. Time is less, but yes, this could be a great opportunity for you to use code SPLIVE, that's written here, and then enroll in a sale that begins at a price of only 7,999 for Hindi medium courses, English medium courses, in English courses too. Across GS, heavy discounts on optionals, CSAT, essay writing, current affairs, everything included. And then if you're preparing for UPSC 27 or 28, we have similar great sales going on right now. Prices as less as 21,999 only, and the batches begin today. Admissions are closing today, that's 15th October. So you could take an advantage of the sale, let your friends know, let other aspirants also know about the sale. Thank you so much to all of you for being with us here at StudyIQ IAS.